Hello, today I'm going to go from Microsoft Excel with a bunch of appointments and events into a Google Calendar. So there's my Excel file. I'm going to come back and discuss this. Here's my Google Calendar. I'm going to go back to Excel. Row number 1 has my header row. Those are required fields if you want to go from Excel into a Google Calendar. So subject, start date, start time. Those are the fields that need to be that way. So as an example, if start date was just the word start, it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is this file that I'm using that I know is going to work, if you go to my YouTube video, expand it, hit show descriptions, I will put a link so you can download this file. So then all you have to do is change some of this data so that way I know it'll work for you. So I made up over in column A, the subjects. I just made some stuff up. I do want to point out that all the events in column F are set to false, meaning that they are appointments. They happen at a start time and they end. But I did put in a retreat in row number 5 that goes from the 29th of January to the 1st, and we're headed to Las Vegas in the description. I also want to show you that over in column H is the location field for the calendar, and I put in the addresses of some of the restaurants in Atlanta that I like. So I'm going to see if it'll pull up Google Maps from the calendar. So here's the trick. Your Excel file needs to be saved as a CSV file, so that's simply File, Save As, and instead of saving it as an Excel workbook up here, you want to hit the drop down and make it CSV and click Save. So I've already saved it as a CSV file. I'm gonna leave this running so we can come back here and take a look at it if we need to. So here's my Google Calendar, already up and running. So I just signed in. I'm in January 2019. If you notice, I'm in my default calendar, Christopher Menard, over here to the left. I have nothing for January 2019. So this next step is completely optional. If you want to pull the events and appointments into your default calendar, you would just simply click this plus symbol right here, and there's import right there. But I actually want to make a new calendar just for that stuff. So I'm going to make a new calendar. So this is what's optional right here. I'm going to name it Training Events 2019, just making up a name. I'm not going to do a description just to keep this easy. I'm going to select Create Calendar. Calendar creation happening. Successful. Perfect. Go back. So now I should have the Christopher Menard calendar over on the left, plus I have a training events calendar. Neither one have any dates on them. So here we go now. Same steps either way. So making the calendar was optional. So now when I go to import that file that was the Excel file that you made a CSV file. The question is, what calendar do you want to put it to? Because if I wouldn't have created the training events, all I would have is Christopher Menard, but I want to put it on training events. We had 13 events over in Microsoft Excel, because the first row is the header row. It stops at row 14, so that's 13 events. So when I select import, I should get 13. Fingers crossed. Yes, 13 out of 13. Hit OK. I'm going to go back in the top left, back one time. Let's go take a look at that training events calendar. I'm in January 2019. I'm going to jump back to Excel just for a second. The 3rd, the 24th, the 25th, and the 29th, those are the only ones I'm going to check. I want to point out that those two right there, I'm going to go see if those work, those addresses. And I do want to see the 29th that it went to the 1st So let's take a look at that first. 29th. It stops on the 1st, so that's why. So the calendar is technically correct if you're wondering. So if you wanted to come back on the 1st, you would make it go through the 2nd. And then there's the 24th and the 25th. I'm going to left click the 24th one time. Business lunch with Delta. Business lunch. So the subject is what shows up on the calendar. There's the location. There's the description. Location. There's description. Let's click that location. It should take us to Fox Brothers Barbecue. One of my favorite places to eat. Let's see if it works. And it worked. It pulled up the address for Fox Brothers Barbecue. There's a picture of the outside patio. So I'm going to close that one. Close that. One more test. The 25th, I'm going to click once. Select the address once. And it should pull up the vortex in a little 5 points. And there is the vortex in a little 5 points. Another one of my favorite places. Let me close that. So a real quick recap. First of all, this Excel file. If you go to my YouTube video, hit show more. This file, there'll be a link to download it. Come in here. I'll leave this information in here. Just go change the data though. Make sure you save it as a CSV file. Go to your Google Calendar and import it. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a wonderful weekend.